Mr. Alfonso Santillan, Dr. Maureen Erickson, Brigadier General Leif Erickson, Lieutenant Colonel Bill DeKemper and his wife Sandy, and Colonel Denny Peoples and his wife Susie. Please remain standing for the posting of the colors and the singing of the national anthem.
With hits, present toast.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red, the balls bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the hope of the brave?
Down toast. Right hits. On hit.
Thank you. You may please be seated. Hello? There we go. In addition to tonight's being Military Ball, we also are inducting our 4 new Kitty Hawk Society members. Kitty Hawk is a very prestigious honor society and is the National Honor Society of AFJROTC. The Prescott High School Kitty Hawk Society concentrates on serving the young and the old with projects focused on the military veterans and elementary students of Northern Arizona. The cadets being inducted tonight have shown themselves to be exceptional with a willingness to serve. They are the best of the best. Congratulations to these outstanding cadets. The objectives of our Kitty Hawk Society are to promote higher academic standards, be of service to the school and the community, promote self-confidence and initiative, develop leadership abilities, and to encourage academic excellence and continued educational development in the post-high school years. Our cadets are required to be the best of the best. The lighting of these candles will highlight a few of the characteristics that we instill in our cadets. The first candle is lit for integrity. Integrity is defined as a soundness of moral character. It is the knowledge of what is right and wrong, and having courage to make the right decisions under pressure. It is having respect for yourself and those around you. The second candle is lit for service. Service means that you put your fellow cadets, family, friends, community, and school before yourself. Your actions benefit those around you. The final candle is lit for excellence. In JROTC, we preach excellence in all we do, and Kitty Hawk will not be an exception. We will work together to be the best that we can be in every single thing that we do. Now, will the cadets being inducted please rise and join the other Kitty Hawk members standing? Hanley, Krista, Angie, Richie, Lawhead, Andrew, and Villani, Henry. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name as a newly inducted member of the PrescottJROTC Kitty Hawk Air Society. In order to uphold academic standards, promote further interest in academic achievement, create a closer and more efficient relationship with the Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps. Serve the elementary, high school, and veteran community. Support Air Power in its role in national security. And develop patriotism and good citizenship. Are hereby inducted into this Kitty Hawk Society. This certificate and Kitty Hawk Society badge will symbolize your part of this society. Please shake, take, and salute. Thank you all for taking the time to honor these cadets. You may all be seated. Now, please stand for the toast and the presentations of the Prisoner of War Missing in Action table. I propose a toast to the colors. The colors.
I propose a toast to the Commander-in-Chief.
Commander-in-Chief.
I propose a toast to the Secretary of Defense. I propose a toast to the Secretary of the Air Force.
I propose a toast to the Air Force Chief of Staff.
I propose a toast to the Commander of Air Education and Training Command.
I propose a toast to the Commander of the Air University.
I propose a toast to the Commander of Air Force Junior ROTC.
I propose a toast to the Senior Aerospace Science Instructor and his wife.
I propose a toast to the Aerospace Science Instructor and his wife.
Ladies and gentlemen, please avert your attention to the table set before you. This table is set for our prisoners of war and those missing in action from all wars. They are not with us today. Their chairs are empty, but save for their hope return. Let us remember their absence. They are not with us today. I already said that, sorry. Let us remember the men and women prisoners of war from all branches of service that are not too often forgotten. Let us remember them. Sorry, I can't use this.
The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their intention to respond to their country's call to arms, so that their children could remain free. The lone candle symbolizes the frailty of a prisoner alone, trying to stand against his oppressors. The single rose reminds us of the loved ones and families of our comrades in arms, who keep the faith and await their return. A slice of lemon is on the bread plate to remind us of their bitter fate if we do not bring them home. There is salt on the plate, symbolic of the family's tears as they wait and remember. Glasses are inverted. They cannot toast with us tonight. Maybe tomorrow, if we remember. As we look upon this empty table, do not remember ghosts from the past. Remember our comrades. Remember those whom we depend on in battle. They depend on us to bring them home. Remember our friends. They are the ones we love, who love life as freedom as we do. They will remember what we do. Please honor and remember them. Hear, hear. Hear, hear. You may all be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, please, your attention. May all veterans who have served please rise and be recognized. On behalf of a grateful nation and our cadet corps, we thank you for your service and your sacrifice to our country. If it were not for your sacrifice, we would not be having what we're having today. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Can you guys hear me in the back there? Yes, sir. You guys hear me in the back there? Yes, sir. Okay. We have an unusual ceremony that we're going to do today, sort of like our change command for the cadets. And the only thing I can compare this to is November 6, 2006. What were you guys doing then? Sleeping? That was when we opened up officially the Junior ROTC, and this flag was given to me by the Superintendent of Education at the time and the Board President. And that opened up our Junior ROTC. I was designated the Senior Aerospace Science Instructor. I was the first instructor I found in the ROTC. By the way, the first semester that we were doing this, I was by myself. And I had a retiree in the local area that came up to me and said, "Hey, you want me to teach the class one day while you count uniforms?" And I was counting uniforms. I was trying to get kids in uniforms. And Colonel DeKemper was a volunteer at the time a lot like the chaperones around here helping us, and just came up to me and said, hey, I'll volunteer. And I'm telling you, as my wife will attest, the first year I didn't have any days off, except when Colonel DeKemper came and volunteered and helped me out. He helped me drive buses, he did everything as a volunteer. And now all these years later, what, seven and a half years later, he has ended up being our second instructor. He is right in second, our aerospace science instructor. But this past Tuesday, we had a pretty eventful meeting with Ms. Hillig. We have decided, I have decided, to ask Ms. Hillig to designate Mr. Lieutenant Colonel DeKemper as the senior aerospace science instructor. We are switching positions. He will be my boss, and I will do whatever he tells me to do. That's how the chain of command goes. And so at this one point, we're going to have a very unusual ceremony where I am going to relinquish the senior aerospace science instructor position, and he will accept it and be in charge of the top unit, arguably in the nation. We are reminiscing. My wife Susie has been through all this with me. The first couple of years, we had 70 at the military ball, and it is either right here in this much, or it might have even just been a quarter of this. It was all we could afford, all we had. We had a great time. And also another memory, where's Cassidy? My sweet daughter Cassidy was a freshman 4 years ago. Cassidy, where was the military ball then? In the girls' gym. And it was fun. So don't you think it's a little more fun? So we've come a long way in the 4 years, and I really appreciate it. Now I think it's time for Colonel DeKemper to take over and take you guys into the next 8 years. So room 10 up!
All right, before the Colonel sits down, guys, I got to tell you a couple things about him. Come over here, Colonel. No, it's not a roast. I just want to tell you a few things about this guy. I think our paths were meant to... Everybody, please sit down. Please sit down. I'm sorry. Should have said that first. I met Colonel Peoples when I was working down at Peoria High School about 8, 9 years ago. He was actively working to get this unit started, and it's not easy to get a unit started. People have no idea how much effort goes into starting an Air Force Junior ROTC or any ROTC unit. He came down and we met down there, and that's basically the first time our paths crossed. And then a few months later, I was working down at Peoria, and my wife said, hey, there's going to be a meeting tonight at the school board about Junior ROTC. And I said, well, you know what? I know the guy that's trying to work it. Maybe I'll drive up there and hear what they have to say and say hi and the whole bit, right? So I drove up that night, and I'm looking around, and I was, where's Colonel Peoples? And I thought, surely he's got to be here. I mean, the guy's been working his tail off for the last, who knows how many years? 6 years. I said, he's got to be here. And eventually I met his lovely wife, Susie, at the meeting that night, and she told me, guess what? He's in Bosnia. He was in the Air Force Reserves at that time, and he was deployed to Bosnia for several months. And I said, wow, you know, that's kind of unusual circumstances, but okay. But there were some people there from the ROTC unit at the college. And the school board started asking the questions, and I went, uh-oh, these guys don't know anything about junior ROTC. Because I was a college ROTC commander, and it's very different than junior ROTC. And so finally I looked at my wife and I said, I got to do something. And so they were asking questions, and I stood up and said, hey, I'm a commander of a JROTC unit at Peoria High School. I can answer your questions. And at that moment, I felt like I was there for a reason. I just didn't happen to be there that night. And so all this man's hard work could have potentially gone up in flames that night. And so I felt like our paths were just meant to cross. And then, like you said, I helped him when he got started with the unit, and then eventually came on with the unit. So I just want to let you guys know there's a lot more than just circumstance in life. And, you know, I'm a firm believer that things happen for a reason. And I think our paths cross for a reason. And I want to tell you, if you guys knew how much work this man has done in the 6 years to get this unit started and the 7 since it's been started, you'd probably climb into bed and pull the covers over your head. You'd be afraid. It is unbelievable the amount of work he's done. And so I want to thank him from the bottom of my heart, promise him that I will do as much as I can for the unit to continue the excellence that we've had. And I want you guys to please give him a phenomenal round of applause. All right, now one of the best parts of being in this position now is to tell you guys, let's have a dance. Let's have a good time. So, Alex Raskin, I want to introduce our fantastic DJs tonight. Alex Raskin, please put your hand up. And cadet, Walter Keene, who is now an ROTC cadet at Embry-Riddle, these were both alumni of our unit. They're back here to help us tonight. So if you would, Mr. DJ.
Colonel Kemper, he's my boss. Do I have permission for your cadets to take off their coats?
I think it's time for you guys to get relaxed and have a good time.
Yeah!
You're the first one.